In today's video, Dog Squad, we are going to be going over the most exciting game from each week in the 2024 NFL season, besides Week 18, because sometimes the other team won't play because they're already in the playoffs and they won't really try. Sometimes they're good, but you don't ever know because it's just because it's Week 18. But as we begin this video, thank you all so much for y'all's support. Thank you for all the likes, subscribers, and views. Last video got almost 300 views. It may be almost there, but at least 250 views. Thank you so much on that starting QB ranking video. We're going to try to get 900 soon. We're going to try and get by June, but it probably won't work. Maybe July. So without further ado, let's get right in this video. Dog Squad. So we're gonna start with Week 1, Ravens and Chiefs. Of course, that was the game that was presented, I think, first out of any other of the games, besides maybe the Cowboys and the Browns. That one, I was gonna put Cowboys Browns, but of course, this one is the rematch of the AFC Championship. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you can't go wrong really with this game. It's the first game of the season, the NFL kickoff. I mean, this has got to be it. This is gonna be the most exciting game of Week 1. Remember, these are exciting, not just the best ones. Maybe also ones that are exciting, but I think to me, this is going to be the best and exciting game. That's to me, my opinions of what I think is going to be the most exciting game, what I'm prepared for, what's going to be the best game, what's going to be watched. These are the games, so just to let you know. Week 2, Bengals at Chiefs. Of course, we knew that. There were some other games in the entire thing from Week 2, and I'm looking that up right now. So you had, of course, the Bengals and Chiefs was a great game. You got Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes. It's always a great game. It should not be a question. There's really no other game you could really put on there that's really better than this. This is always a fantastic game. Buffalo, Miami, well, that's not going to be it. This is Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes, a fantastic game to watch. I'd love to see them play each other. They have always, Burrow was always beating Mahomes, and then, Mahomes actually finally beat him after a while. So, and they didn't play last year against each other. We thought that'd be a good game, but it wasn't. So, now we move on to Week 3. And man, oh man, for us Cowboys fans, this is going to be one heck of a game. It's going to be tough. I think we're going to fight, and we're at home, but it is going to be tough. It's going to be fantastic to see Lamar Jackson versus Dak Prescott. Two quarterbacks that don't really do much, and against two really good defenses, top 5 in the league. See how that goes. Clowney versus Parsons, fantastic, a game that we want to all see and know how that goes. So hopefully the Cowboys win, but it's going to be a fun game to watch in general. Week 4, Bills at Ravens. Yeah, we saw a couple years ago them play each other, and that was not really much of a game. It's just a couple good teams that's going to be probably exciting to play. You had Philadelphia, Tampa, that may have been a little bit good. That was probably about it. Seattle, Detroit's not bad, So Jacksonville, Houston, we don't know how Jacksonville's going to do this year. So yeah. This is really the best you can see. Allen versus Jackson, two great quarterbacks in the AFC that are matching up against each other. What can you expect? Ravens, I can see winning this game, but they've done it before where they haven't been as good as they should be against the tough team. But then again, they've gotten better. So that whole entire Ravens team, Harbaugh's led a better team with Lamar Jackson itself. And now they have Derrick Henry. Can that pound up against that Bills top 5 defense? Well, now they were a top 5 defense, but I'm still going to count the Bills as being a good team. I just think maybe a little less than usual, but it's still a good matchup watching them play. Overall, it's still going to be a good matchup in my opinion. And then you got Bills at Texans. You go Diggs going against his old team. This is the reason I'm picking this and many others. You have Week 5 matchups. Week 5 matchups you don't really have any. Besides Baltimore, Cincinnati, that's a game I was kind of looking at for it to be good. And maybe Green Bay and LA. But this one is going to be, I think, good because Buffalo's still going to be, I think, a team that can win games. They lost some players, but then again, you got maybe a receiver that you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. They're not going to be as good, okay? Allen may not have anyone to throw the ball to, and their defense may not be as good. But, it's still going to be a good revenge game. That's why Buffalo's may not be the team to have a situation with the playoffs this year, to go deep. They're going to probably be a team that, well, who knows? They may get it all together, but right now, they were already starting slow last year. Will they start slow again this year? But it'll be a good revenge game against Houston, which has a stacked team. Diggs coming over in Houston, playing them at home. It would have been good if it was in Buffalo, but... Oh. All right, Week 6, Lions, Cowboys. we know we always can beat these. This is always a fantastic matchup to play. They've been playing for years in Dallas, and it almost seems like a division game because we play them every year, and we just don't play them twice a year. And we always play them in Dallas. And last year, what happened with that controversial call, which I still think was, unfair to both teams because you had the tripping call on Peyton, and then on her shot, and then it wasn't fair to us for us being told that there was going to be an eligible shooting. We're not going over that right now. This is this year, and we always know it's a good game, and it's going to be better since these two teams are playoff and far contenders. Dallas is going to be the same exact roster. I don't think they're going to be like Buffalo. They're going to have the same exact roster. They got some people in the draft. I don't think it's going to be by Buffalo losing everyone and then gaining someone like Valdez-Scantling. So, which is not even bad. They need a receiver. All right, this one obviously is the Super Bowl rematch. It had to be put on here. Mahomes versus Purdy. Of course, I think it's going to be a better game than a couple years ago when the Niners were still kind of controlling, seeing were they actually that good of a team, and they were. So this one is in San Francisco. San Francisco can have a chance of winning this. Definitely have a chance of winning this game. I think they can, but we'll see what Mahomes does. But Mahomes, he was a little shaky last year in the regular season. That's why he was never in that MVP conversation. Purdy's getting better. This could be the time that the Niners actually win this game. Both Niners defense is still on top of it. The Chiefs defense has gotten better throughout the years. So it'll be a fantastic matchup to see. Super Bowl rematch. We'd love to see it in Week 7. Week 8. I wanted to put... I think this is... I don't know if this could be a good game, but I do think this is... Well, this is always a rivalry. This is always a game I think used to be always a good game to watch. I think it will be this time, but it may not go Dallas's way. I'm just saying I'm going to have to take the Niners winning this game. Whatever way they do... We'll just have to see what happens, but I do think this is always an interesting game. I didn't really see any other game that you could have really put on here, maybe. Buffalo, Seattle, maybe. Baltimore, Cleveland, that could have probably been it. And then you had Philadelphia, Cincy. So I guess that could have been something in there, but this is always a rivalry. It's always an exciting game, besides last year, so we like this. I guess you just can't deny that. Lions and Packers, a divisional round matchup. They played each other last year, of course, like every year. In Lambeau was week 3, week 3 last year. And Lions destroyed them. Then the Packers came on Thanksgiving and destroyed them. So hopefully it goes a little bit better this year. But Jordan Love's getting better. Lions, we know, are the best team with Jared Goff, Amon St. Brown, Laporta. And their defense is probably going to get better in the past. But we'll see that run defense is still going with A. Hutchinson and all of them. So in Green Bay, we have Jordan Love getting better. You released Aaron Jones, but we still have that Packers team having a lot more confidence, just like the Texans. This will be a fantastic division matchup. We like to see it Week 9. Week 10, of course, Lions-Texans. The reason I put this, there were a couple games in there from Week 10. Let me look at them. You had Buffalo, Indy, which is actually not that. San Francisco, Tampa is not bad. Okay, there weren't really any other games. Okay, Philadelphia, Dallas. That was one that was probably could have been easy. Cincinnati, Baltimore. That one easy, but these two teams are young and they don't do much. They have some good seasons, but this time they have chances to be top teams and go maybe win their conference. This will be a fantastic matchup to see who is the best one out of those. And maybe have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I'd love to see this in the Super Bowl. Week 10, I'm very excited to see this game being played. You got Jared Goff versus C.J. Stroud. Two good defenses in different ways. May not be, and it may always be that front, may not always be the pass, but you have Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson Jr., who's the second man, and then you got Hutchinson, the third-year man. They're all getting young. They're young teams. Golf I know is older, but, they're still young teams with rookies and with a couple 2-year guys, and this is going to be a fantastic matchup to see. Here we go. Okay, Week 11, Texans and Cowboys. Diggs versus Diggs. I mean, the Texans rolling into Dallas. The Texas matchup. I saw tons of people over on one of the Fox games that said, what matchup you shy for? The top 4 comments were Texans-Cowboys. Diggs versus Diggs. It's a Texas matchup. They're both good teams. I mean, that's a fantastic matchup to watch in that game. And we hope, as a Cowboys fan, I really hope we win that game. And, it'd be a great game to win, a hard team to play, the Houston Texans, and we're going to definitely have to protect C.J. Stroud, and our defense better not get rolled around by that offense because they're good. They're stacked. They got a ton of talent. We'll just see what happens with that game because we're still watching general, excuse me, for any fan, it's a battle to watch in Week 11. Week 12, Remember last year they played each other in the divisional round. That was a great matchup to watch. This one will be Packers still young. They're getting there. Niners, they're trying to go win the Super Bowl. Hopefully they don't, because I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't like the Niners, and I probably don't like them anyways. They're just trying to go and see if they can win a Super Bowl. They're going to see, and this will be a matchup test for them. You know, Green Bay's still trying to, like I said, get on back on track after losing Aaron Rodgers before last year. So, you know, Purdy got Purdy versus Love, and now will that defense be able to handle young receivers that are underrated like Romeo Doubs and, you know, Reed and all them? And that defense isn't that bad to protect Brock Purdy. I could see some mistakes in there, but hey, Green Bay sometimes likes losing in the playoffs just like Dallas likes losing to both of these teams. So, all right, Week 13, 49ers at Bills. I mean, I was looking at this, and this is a heck of a game. Even though the Bills may not be as good, and they still can, Josh Allen versus Brock Purdy is a matchup not to underrate, because when you have to go to Buffalo in a cold weather game in Week 13, we know Dallas did not have trouble with it. Had trouble with it. On Sunday Night Football, that's going to be one game that's going to be interesting to see. Will Buffalo be good at that point? Well, I guess we'll know at some point. That two good defenses, well, if Buffalo still has it. Offenses in situations, kind of hard to talk about Buffalo because you're curious to see what they're going to see, but I think they're going to give a fight to a really good San Francisco team. 14, Bengals at Cowboys. Yep, Joe Burrow versus Dak Prescott. And that now, when you talk about defense, I think this Cowboys defense is the team to stop Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and all of them. This will be the game to beat. I think this is the game we win out of the hosting the NFC or AFC North between the Ravens and the Bengals. This is the game we win. I don't think it'll be the Ravens, but I think it'll be the Bengals. We also will probably lose to the Browns too, but we'll get. It's gonna be way down this road before I start making the Cowboys picks. That'll be the last team I'll pick. I'll have predictions probably coming tomorrow. They'll be Friday. This is a Thursday, by the way. But we do like a good matchup of. That offense of both teams, it could be definitely high scoring. What will the Bengals defense do is the question to stop a top 5 offense like that. We don't hear much from Cincinnati, and that's why I do think Dallas can definitely win. Plus, they're at home. They can be dominant. You know, stop Joe Burrow at any cost to win this game, to make sure you protect Jamar Chase. And they also lost Boyd, and they also lost Mixon, so they may not be as much powerful as they think. For that defense to stop, that run defense has got to be good for Dallas, whoever they have, because you know what? Cincinnati could grab anyone. We always, you know how they like the Texans at probably some point. They started young and they start grabbing people. I don't know. We'll just see. I mean, Bengals lost a couple players too, so they may not be as good. That's why I think Dallas is going to win. But it's going to be still a tough matchup for the Dallas Cowboys when they have to play at home against a very tough Joe Burrow-led Cincinnati team. It always finds ways to win against in the toughest situations. Week 15, Chiefs at Browns. Now, there was a Bills something game. There was a game I remember looking at. Buffalo, Detroit. Now, that may not be as good because, you know, Buffalo's still falling off, still trying to get stuff together, but they'll probably find out at the end of the season. That's probably when the time they do. But still, I kind of trust right now. Chiefs, Browns, they've played in playoff games before, and it's been close. Played in Week 1 a few years ago. That was close. If they play in Cleveland, if Deshaun Watson stay healthy, a defense with Myles Garrett going up against Patrick Mahomes, oh, that's so good. That's a dream game to watch. What a game they made up there, and I'm very excited to see that. Week 16, Texans at Chiefs. Yeah, young Texans team who's really, really getting better. A Chiefs team that's trying to go back-to-back, three-peat. Well, they're playing in Arrowhead, and we know those are always matchups when it's Texans Chiefs. They blew it a few years ago with Deshaun Watson, but you know, Texans can handle the Chiefs, and they were able to handle the Ravens for a little bit last year. This will be a matchup to watch on a Saturday. Be exciting during Christmas, or for then at least. Cowboys-Eagles is the last one. You had to include it. The division matchup, it's always a battle when they play each other. The past one I had was different because of the situation, but this one was a Week 17 game, Cowboys in Philadelphia. It's always a good matchup to watch. Whoever's watching it, it's always a battle. I don't remember the last time it was a blowout between these two teams. It's a good rivalry. It's one of the oldest, so that's it. But, Dog Squad, let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments section below. I know Buffalo, I've said Buffalo is going to be a little down, but I feel like they can find ways. They're not going to be as good, but I think they'll find ways to get back up. I'm sure they'll regroup some people. They got some talent. Maybe a little worse, but they may have to fight in for that playoff spot again, but they will always make it good because the good teams will remain good for a while. Josh Allen's still on that team. He will make it good, but he's going to have to find those receivers to give it to because he lost a couple. But it'll still be I think it'll still be a game between there. It's going to always still be good. And then we also have, Cincinnati lost a couple players, but hey, they're going to be about the same team as we've seen before. Their defense is going to have to step it up more because we know their offense is a little bit more popular in those situations. But Dog Squad, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me see your record predictions, and I'll see you next time, Dog Squad. Peace.